I regret going to college, 100%. 100%. Maybe like 75 because I did have a great time in school, but I regret going to college. I regret getting a degree. I regret walking across that stage, all of it.
Just like when it comes to relationships, people are beginning to wake up to the whole notion of college degrees and realize that the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. Watch the end of the video to fully understand why so many people are beginning to complain about getting college degrees that they've now concluded have not had any real benefit on their lives, and how this is going to affect the workforce going forward. And also, guys, today's video comes from Die4Fam. His channel will be linked in the description, so you can go and check him out. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I feel like a lot of people ain't really looking at it in depth, you know what I'm saying? Which is that a degree nowadays is pretty much pointless, but not in the way that a lot of you think, right? Like a lot of people will try and tell you like, oh, college is pointless, like you don't need college, and that is true to an extent, right? Like to an extent, you can always get a trade, you can always get a skill, start your own business, do whatever. There are a lot of things that you can do without going to college, without getting a degree. That is very, very true. And you know, a lot of people will say, well, you know, if you go to college, it depends on what degree you get, and that's important too, right? Like if you get a degree, if you becoming a doctor or a lawyer, bro, and obviously college is very, very much necessary, but for everything else, you know, they'll say it's not that necessary. But I wanted to kind of take it one step further, right? Because it's not that a degree is just worthless in the sense that you just don't need it. It's not that simple, right? It's more so that, you know, because if you think about jobs, right, when you have a degree, it gives you access to higher versions of jobs, right? Like a lot of people think that once you get a degree that you just gonna jump into a spot as a manager, or you just gonna jump into a spot as like some kind of I don't know, you gonna just become high level and high earning as soon as you leave college. And that's true for like maybe 2% of college graduates, but you know, for the most part, you have to work your way through. And once you get to a certain level, you know what I mean? If you want to break into the top earners of that company, that degree is necessary. That is when a degree becomes necessary. So now you might be asking the question, well, dang, you just said a degree is worthless in 2024. Why is that when you're saying that a degree is necessary for these higher levels? It's not necessarily because the degree itself is not worth anything. It has more to do with the current job market and the fact that promotions are not happening like they used to happen, bro. It used to be that you could promote every year, every couple of years, bro. But understand that we live in an age where nepotism, connections, and the fact that people are staying in the workforce for much, much longer than they used to. Understand that these things are having a big effect on us, right? Like, for example, if you go and work a job, if you able to even find a job in today's market, I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Like a lot of these jobs, you know, they want you to have a degree, but then they want you to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of experience on top of the degree. They want you to have X, Y, and Z. They have all these unrealistic expectations. And it's not even that, you know, oh, these companies are big companies. We're not talking about Goldman Sachs. We talking about Starbucks, my nigga.
Oh my gosh, y'all, they really fucked these kids hard. They really fucked these kids hard. Starbucks? Starbucks? Yeah, Gen Z is cooked. Imagine walking into Starbucks and these motherfuckers are saying, all right, bro, do you have those 6 to 8 years of experience? Doing what? Making fucking coffee, motherfucker? Bro, they're fucking these little muffins so hard. All right, they're getting that coin out of their asses, boy. They're tapping that coin out of their asses. Jesus, man, man, oh man. You know, a college degree is really not worth much. There's a lot of these jackasses. I saw some piece of shit motherfucker pop up in my comments, and he was there boasting about his accounting degree and his law degree and how wonderful he's doing in life. And to be very clear, those are professional degrees. And you know, you can do things with those degrees, although guys, I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. That's my undergraduate account. And as a result of having that degree, I could basically go and get become a certified public accountant. Basically, I'd have to like work for, at least this is how it was a number of years ago. I was already working at a finance company. I was already working in a finance department. So after being in that job for 2 years, it would, to my understanding, then qualify me to go and take the CPA exam to become a certified public accountant. Even as a certified public accountant, there's another one that you can take as well. There's an IRS exam you can take, a registered agent, I think it's something like that. And basically you're allowed to do tax preparation work. Regardless of this, it's like a lot of these people end up working for another company. It's just another 9 to 5 job. And or you can try going out on your own and starting your own office and make your money that way, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fucking work, and it doesn't guarantee you shit. Right now I have my own accountant that I use for my business, and I had an accounting firm that was working for me. I was paying them a ton of money every year, and these motherfuckers messed me up and got me into a lot of trouble, a lot of fucking trouble, and I had to basically go through so many different accountants until I found one accountant that could go through all of the shit and sort all of the shit out and get everything fixed for me, which is which is the value of a good accountant. But to be very, very clear, even if you go to law school and you go work for a law firm, it can take you many years before you actually start to make any real money. A lot of people graduate from law school and they get a job working at a law firm, and if they're lucky, they get $75,000 a year. And you're gonna have to work your ass off for that $75,000 a year, doing research and all kinds of other shit. And that's in a place like Florida, all right, where you might get 75K, where the rent is super high, like in places in like Miami where the rent is super high. And so you're getting 75K, but how much is your rent? Like, your rent's like $5,000 a month. So how are you even affording to live? So it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And there's a lot of people who have no empathy, and they'll continue to push people into college. There's also the amount of time that you lose in college. Like, there's so much you could be learning because pretty much everything is self-learn in college. They're so full of shit. Most of the things are self-learn. If you want to learn anything, you better go home and study and learn things like the back of your hand. If you want to learn biology, you don't learn biology in the classroom. You learn biology at home, going through the textbooks, watching YouTube videos. That's how you learn pretty much every fucking thing. If you want to learn accounting, same fucking thing. If you want to learn software engineering, if you want to learn how to program, do these things, same fucking thing. You don't learn shit in college. Okay, that's why all the major companies, all the FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Google, none of these companies are no longer requiring college degrees. In fact, they prefer that you don't have any, because Gen Zers coming, with these college degrees, they can't do anything. They don't have the basic skill sets versus people who never went to college and they had to actually learn how to do things on their own. So the kids that never went to college, they actually have skill sets because they learned, instead of basically sitting in a classroom and learning theory, these people actually learned how to program, learned how to code, learned how to do these things, build portfolios. They can step into a company and say, "Hey, yeah, I have, I've done these freelance projects for different clients, and I can show you I can show you the different projects I've worked on. I did this networking project. I created this system. I worked for this company." And you can show your portfolio. And they can basically see very quickly, like, this person has the skill sets to do this job. I don't give a fuck about your Harvard degree. If you can't do shit, that's a piece of paper. I'll wipe my ass. I'll wipe my ass with that piece of paper and then throw it out with you, all right? In fact, how dare you even come in here and waste my time, all right? Listen to me. I'm going to get myself one of those big white or black security guards. Those like big ass motherfuckers, look intimidating as fuck with the ball heads. I'm gonna get me one of those motherfuckers and have them toss your fucking ass out of here, coming in here with no skill sets whatsoever, thinking you're gonna get a job just because you went to Harvard or Yale or Stanford, you motherfucker. That's pretty much what it is right now. Pretty much what it is right now. Because a lot of these kids can't do jack shit. They're graduating from these institutions. And to be honest, Gen Z is a lazy group of muffins. They absolutely are a lazy group of muffins. They're like, oh well, if you paid us better, we'd work more. When they're getting paid well, these motherfuckers still don't want to do their jobs, and they're getting fired. Like there were these Gen Zers evidently like working at this company. They were doing this like stupid dance and everything. Like they were like in like management. Like they had like really high positions, and the company just fired all of them when like they saw their TikTok dance because they were like TikTok dancing at work, and it was so fucking cringe. And it's like, guys, 6 out of 10 employers in 2024. 6 out of 10 employers in 2024 have already fired all of their Gen Z hires within a couple of months. All right, so Gen Zers that were hired in 2024, 6 out of 10 companies that have hired these 6 out of 10 Gen Zers have already been fired. That's fucking incredible, man. That's so great. That's so great. God is good. Those scummy little muffins. Those scummy little muffins. If they're gonna be in the streets very soon, they're gonna be in the streets. They're gonna be homeless and hungry and out there with the rats and the roaches. It's gonna be good. I mean, they told you they're gonna be a generation of thieves and squatters. Over the next 5 to 10 years, they're gonna transition into their full blown hippie era. Like this is actually the golden age of Gen Z. I already know they're going to get much worse. Like this is the best that they're ever going to be. You're like Gen Z is terrible. I know this is the best they're ever going to be. Like at least now they kind of look mostly normal most of the time. Oh, within 5 to 10 years, they're gonna be dirty. They're going to be all over the streets. They're going to be desperate. They're going to be basically full blown hippies. The long hair, dirty clothes. They already have terrible hygiene. Oh, it's going to, listen, you'll smell them across the street. All right, there'll be flies around them. All right, these people are going to be stealing everything. If it's not nailed down, they're going to be picking it up. Porch pirates and bandits, forget about it. That's their lifestyle right there. Okay? These motherfuckers, we all know that they belong. Listen, we all know that many of them, if not most of them, belong in prison. The thing is that, they're just going to have a good time. You put them in prison, put them in jail, put them in prison. All they're going to do is eat, sleep, drink, get drunk, smoke, do drugs, play games, play with themselves, fart, and then do it again the next day. Okay? They're just gonna have a good time. These are some bad fucking muffins, man. These are some bad muffins. This is a bad batch of muffins that should never have made it out of the oven, if you get what I mean. So it's we're between a rock and a hard place with those scumbags. You have to really consciously realize that a lot of people are not going to be heading into very good places. I told you guys, shit is going to get really bad. At the time of making this video, right now there's the whole port shutdown where the scumbags who are going to be operating these ports, basically, they're going to they've gone on strike, so they're going to shut down the supply chain. So all the ports where things leave the US and come into the US are now closed down, and these motherfuckers are demanding raises and abandon automation. So they don't want AI to be allowed into the industry, meaning that they should be the only ones who can control if things come off ships or if things come into the US. If we have to like fight against these motherfuckers, we have to fight and stand up to them. There's 45,000 of these port workers, and the danger is that they want to shut down automation, they want to shut down technology to make sure these jobs can never go away. The thing is that we need automation, we need things, we need AI in these areas because that can actually speed up ports, that can speed up the time that it takes to get things from point A to point B by not nest by allowing technology to work throughout the night. For example, as to where you wouldn't have, you have port workers who have to, may not even, cannot work all the time or whatever. Machines basically never take a day off. So it's like these gatekeepers, that's what they are now. They are gatekeepers. They're saying nothing will come into the country or leave the country unless they get what they want. These are psychopaths. These are some piece of shit motherfuckers. So those jobs, they're basically giving us every reason to understand why we need to get rid of those jobs. Because when you have people that can easily control if we can eat, if we can have access to the basic necessities of life, these are psychopaths. These are absolute psychopaths. So we need to get rid of those jobs. We need automation. And it's like you have to understand, guys, like we're just living in this world right now where everyone is just fucking so fucking dishonest. Degrees increasingly don't mean anything. It's based on what you can do, what your skill sets are, what your knowledge is, what you actually bring to the table. You know, unless you want to go and do something like be a doctor or a lawyer or like I said, an accountant. And the thing is, even with an accountant, you don't even have if you want to do like if you want to be an accountant, there's again it's something I forget the exact name of it, and it's actually called being an enrolled agent. So basically, enrolled agents are people who can work for the IRS. They're authorized to work for the IRS or through the IRS, and they can do taxes. So yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting position. An enrolled agent is a person who has earned the privilege of representing taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service by either passing a three-part comprehensive IRS test covering individual and business tax returns, or through experience as a former IRS employee. Enrolled agent status is the highest credential the IRS awards. So you can go the CPA route, and that's one option that you can choose, or you can choose to go and become an enrolled agent. And a lot of people go down that path. But again, guys, it's not for everyone. It really is not for everyone. The truth of the matter is that we're facing some immeasurably hard times in society. A lot of people are asleep right now. And I'll tell you guys, when it comes to Gen Z is not going to hold down the ball. Gen Z is not going to hold things down. Gen Z is a very lazy little group of people. They just want to sleep and fart. I've said this already. They're gonna be in their full blown hippie era very soon. And when they go into their full blown hippie era, they'll be stealing and squatting. There was a guy who left a comment on one of my longer subscribers on this channel, the newer channel. He said that when it comes to Gen Z, a 20-year-old Gen Xer had was basically the equivalent of a 30-year-old Gen Zer, and I don't even think that's in terms of knowledge, and that's not true. Gen Zers, most 20-year-old Gen Xers had common sense, at least some basic level of common sense and reasoning. Gen Zers have no basic reasoning of common sense, no basic common sense. Like I look back at movies like Clerks and stuff like this shit, and it's like people used to talk all kinds of shit about Gen X and like, you're never gonna go anywhere. You were late for work, or you're so fucking lazy. I told you to stock this shelf on 15 minutes ago, and this is how much you've done. Guys, Gen Z doesn't even show up for work. Back in those days, you'd have the boomers, eating you out because you weren't working fast enough, or you didn't do things exactly as they wanted it done. I mean, or they didn't like the way that you were dressed. It's like the boomers were just terrorist people. They found every fucking thing to criticize you about. Gen Z will just get up and walk out during the middle of the day. Okay? You get to work on time. Gen X would get to work on time. As they work in a business, they would open up on time. They wore their uniforms. They showed up. They had manners. Welcome to Good Burger. Blah blah blah. Can I take your order? Okay, like Keenan and Kel. Like you remember Good Burger? I'm like just giving you an example. Gen Z doesn't give a fuck, bro. They don't give a fuck about this job. They don't give a fuck about shit. Like these are some nasty ass motherfuckers. Like who? Yeah, I was gonna say who raised them. Gen X raised them. We raised them. Fuck these kids. Like fuck these kids. Fuck these bad muffins. They are a bad batch of muffins. They should never have made it out of the oven. If you get what I mean. There's a pill for that. There are ways of dealing with that. I don't know. These are a bad group of people. I don't like a single. I can only imagine. Like I was gonna say, I don't like a single one of them. And then there are some Gen Zers who are like angry. Really, you hate me that much angry? You hate me that much angry? I'm out here trying angry, and you hate me that much angry just because of the generation I fall into angry? It's hard. It's hard. By the grace of God, I will never have well, it's too late. I can never have a Gen Zer now. And Gen Alpha's almost done. That generation's almost over with. So I'll know for sure I'll never have a Gen Alpha. I don't plan on having kids. Like, I hear the horror stories about having kids. Fuck that shit. And then, the woman that, you get into a relationship with a woman. Man, I don't give a fuck about, guys, most men don't give a fuck about the society anymore. They don't give a fuck about the world. They don't give a fuck if everything comes to an end. People don't give a fuck anymore. Because men really just no longer have a stake in the society. Just like this notion of sending Gen Z overseas to go fight in a war. If you send them overseas to go fight in a war, you're basically turning them into slaves. All right? The Constitution, after they signed the law that basically gave blacks, released blacks from slavery, it also turned around and then and allowed it again in the case of imprisonment. So if you're a prisoner, you are considered a slave. And, Roman law was very, very clear that slaves could not serve in the military. Even though by the end of the Roman Empire, they were using slaves to do everything in the empire, they outright said slaves could not serve in the military. Because if you allowed slaves to serve in the military, these are not stakeholders in society. These are individuals who are being forced to serve society. They're not stakeholders. They are not citizens. Being a citizen in society is to be a stakeholder in society. Slaves are people who are basically having their every right and their humanity stripped away from them, and then they're told that they have to go fight and lay down their lives to protect their captors. If you are a slave, you are under captivity. You are in captivity. Okay, you are not free. You cannot do anything. You have no choices. You are owned by someone, and being told that you should then go and lay down your life and fight for the benefit of your master and your master's land. Who in the guys? That's the slaves will turn on them. They would sell out the country. You put these people in you put these people in positions of power. They're going to basically, it would be. I mean, the empire would have fallen even sooner. It's crazy. So those people that are saying that the military was straight out answering out Gen Z are full of shit. They tried this shit back in the 1990s during Desert Storm, where they took a bunch of prisoners. They said that either you go to prison, or you can either go to prison, or you can go into the military. And some men choose to go into the military, and then they shipped them overseas into Desert Storm, and it was a horrible failure. A lot of these guys, they were basically slaves because they were not free to go. So they either basically were serving their time in prison or serving their time in the military. And there were many instances of friendly fire, deserting, or just are basically going and switching sides and going off with the enemy. That's what would happen with Gen Z. Gen Z would guys, don't forget recently a Gen Zer in the US military sold defense secrets to China for $3,000 a pop. $3,000 a pop. Okay, guys, that's a little bit more than weed money, but you'd be amazed how fast that money can go on things like cocaine. I'm just being real with you. Like guys, a lot of weed heads could smoke that out. I'm telling y'all, a lot of weed heads could smoke that out. $3,000 a pop. He sold defense secrets to the Russians. No, correction, to the Chinese for $3,000 a pop. That ain't shit. And you want to trust these bad muffins? You want to put these bad muffins in positions of power? Some of you all are like, well, they can just be cannon fodder. Come on, bro. Like, I don't hate them so much that I'm just gonna put, like, that's a level of stupidity, and that's inhumane. All right, if you do that, then what's the purpose? You're basically just filling up body bags. That's a level of stupidity. Oh, we're just gonna put them over there and put them on the front lines, and guys, that serves no purpose whatsoever, other than saying that you're trying to basically dispose of them. Like, this is crazy, which is probably what many of you were getting at. Some of y'all are fucked up. Guys, you see what's happening right now with the port workers? They're going to shut everything down. They're already on strike, so nothing can come into the U.S. or leave the U.S. This is not a hypothetical. Everything is about to go to hell. All right, guys? And I told you that this was going to happen. I told you needed to be prepared for when shit hits the fan. All right? I told you about my course, and you all didn't listen. All right? But guess what? We're going to give you another chance. You can go and check out my Learn How to Buy Nothing and Thrive course, because this is the type of thing that prepares you for hard times. Maybe if you guys don't even know what to do. If you can't go to the store and buy shit, if you don't have money, what do you do? So, guys, in today's challenging world, knowing how to thrive without spending a dime can make all the difference. That's why I created the Buy Nothing and Thrive course. This 12-lesson crash course teaches you how to secure cash, money, food, housing, healthcare, and more, all without spending a dime for any of it. Imagine having a trusted advisor showing you how to leverage available resources to stabilize your finances and grow your wealth. Join me and learn step-by-step strategies to maximize what's available to you and enhance your financial stability. Click the link in the description to sign up now, guys. I warned you that you were going to need these skill sets, all right? Because hell on earth is coming, and look at what's happening right now. So go and check out the course, guys. It's available right now. Get the course before prices go up, because it is crazy out there, guys. We're heading for some really harsh times. We're gonna have a hard couple of months, and even once the supply chain opens back up, we don't even know how long it's going to take. We saw what happened the last time we had supply chain issues. It was hard just to get anything. So yeah, guys, go and check the course out. Learn how to basically have these skill sets so that you can survive through through any time, but especially now.
We talking about Panda Express. You know what I'm saying? Asking for all this other type of shit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part about it is that you'll always have a bunch of fucking old ass boomers in the comment section talk about the healthcare industry is hiring. Nigga, go on LinkedIn right now and look at any job in the healthcare industry and even click entry level. And I guarantee that you will see a bunch of shit under requirements that says must have worked in the healthcare industry for at least 2-3 years.
If you can go back 10 years into your life, what's the one thing you would change?
Probably I'd spend more time on friendships and work less hard.
Really, what happened if you don't mind me asking?
I did my doctorate. It took 6 years. It was a really tough time. I lost contact with all my friends, worked way too hard, and it's just kind of like a big black hole that I wish I didn't have.
For those that are trying to be a doctor or go for that doctor degree, what's the one tip you would give them outside of that?
I mean, make sure it's really worth it. You only really want to do it if it's worth the opportunity cost. It's a long time. While you're doing it, your friends are going to be like getting married and buying houses and doing all of that stuff. You have to really be sure about it if you want to do it. It worked out for me, but it just as easily could not have.
Now, this guy said he has his doctorate. I don't know if he meant medical degree, but regardless of that, guys, if you want to have money, becoming a doctor is not the way to get money. Go and get a trade. And the years that you learn and you lose in medical school, and the many years of your life that you end up losing, when you could be learning new skills and establishing yourself, building value, creating an opportunity for yourself, are just vital. So it's really not worth it a lot of the time. And of course, the boomers, they're so addicted to these degrees, they'll continue to keep on pushing other generations into college. But take it from Uncle Angry, stay the fuck out of college.
Must have done this, must have done that. They're gonna have a bunch of requirements that require you to be a specific type of person. And if you are that specific type of person, more power to you. But the majority of people aren't, bruh. That's why I don't like when people say, oh, well, you say jobs ain't hiring, but oh, this sector is hiring. This industry is hiring. That industry is hiring. Sure, they might be hiring, my dog, but that don't apply to most people, bruh. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Industries that's hiring right now, that's not in a white collar job recession, they are not hiring right now, or they are hiring right now, right? Like the jobs that's hiring right now, you do not have the qualifications. Most people do not have the qualifications, bro. That is a fact, all right? But I'm kind of getting off track. The point I'm trying to make is that right now, even if you're able to get hired, it's a very slim chance that you're going to get promoted because of how things work now. Because it's so difficult for people to get hired. Because it's no longer a thing where if you have a degree, you just immediately gone. I mean, I guess it was never really like that, but degrees used to just mean way more. They mean a lot less now. But it used to mean something when you had a degree, and it meant that you actually had much more of an advantage. Now it just gives you a little tiny advantage, bro, right? But now people are using nepotism, right? People are passing businesses on, or not businesses, but they giving the spot to their friends, to their cousins, to their sons, their daughters, and stuff like that, bro. Understand that nepotism is happening all over. And I understand this has been happening for years, but it's getting worse, or it seems like it's getting worse, because getting jobs and getting promoted the, I guess, natural way is becoming less and less possible, right? And it's becoming less and less possible because money is tight. People are not quitting jobs. Spots ain't opening, my dog. There is a recession of jobs even available. So what happens when there's less and less jobs available? People become more and more stringent on who they hire.
And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Right now, it's hard out there. It really is. I've been warning you guys for a minute now. Been telling you guys, and you didn't want to listen, that to when it comes to those 9 to 5 jobs, those luxurious 9 to 5 jobs, do not expect them to be around forever. I told you many of those jobs are going to go away in the coming years. All right. I told you the gig economy was going to become oversaturated. All right. You have guys. There was this woman I saw a clip on. It was on Twitter. It was so guys. It pissed me off so bad. It pissed me off so bad. So there's this woman who was delivering food like Uber Eats or DoorDash, and she took the order, and then she went into the woman's bag and put a note in the bag. As soon as the girl, it was this young girl, like not young girl, she was like maybe 19, 20. And as soon as she opened the door, she immediately handed the woman a tip. And the woman goes, no, 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 it's okay. I don't want it, just, but you use common sense next time. And she gave she gave the girl her food. When the girl went inside, because she had the whole thing recorded, that's why you need to have Ring everywhere. You have to have a Ring doorbell these days in this crazy motherfucking world. When she went inside, there was a note in the food in the bag from the DoorDash or Uber Eats jackass. And a lot of y'all on my channel do Uber Eats and you do DoorDash. Fuck you guys, okay? Tampering with someone's food because they don't give you a fucking tip. Fuck every single one of you motherfuckers. All right, don't even watch my content. I don't want money from you. I don't want your donations. Fuck you. Fuck y'all. All right, don't learn from me. Do not learn from me. Uncle Angry says, get the fuck out of here. Because if you're gonna go and tamper with someone's food because you don't get a fucking donation, oh, Angry, you don't understand. No, I do understand carefully. You don't have to be out there doing it. You don't have to take the order. No one has to give you a fucking tip. Okay? They're stealing from you? No, bro, you're getting a service fee. Okay, there's a service fee. That's between you and the company. If they want to pay y'all more, they can pay y'all more. That has nothing to do with us as the consumer. And you're going to fucking tamper with our food as a threat? You need to be in jail. If they catch you, dude, they need to lock y'all up and throw the keys away. You're a low-value human being. You are a fucking piece of shit. If you tamper with someone's food because you don't get a motherfucking tip, you are a fucking scumbag. Get the fuck off my channel. Unsubscribe. I don't want you motherfuckers here. All right? I'm not attacking every single one of you. But if you are the type of person who thinks that you deserve a tip and you're going to go and tamper with someone's food or fuck with someone's life because you don't get a fucking tip, you are a piece of human garbage. All right? You should be in jail. They need to lock your ass up and throw away the key. You know you're already a low-value piece of garbage. You know that your mother regrets having you. You know that she should have swallowed instead. We already know that about you, you piece of shit motherfuckers. So she left a note in this poor girl's bag saying that next time, I didn't tamper with your food this time, but next time tip your DoorDasher. Like, who the fuck do you think you are doing something like that? And the girl, as soon as she opened the door, she had the tip in her hand. And the woman realized it, but she was like, no, I'm not going to take it from you. Because she couldn't go back in the bag and take out the note she had already put there because she didn't realize that the girl was going to tip her when she got there. And one of the worst things about these evil ass motherfuckers is, for example, if I use Instacart and I order on Instacart, and then you have to leave a tip because they're not going to bring your groceries if you don't leave a tip on Instacart. When they get there, they're still expecting another tip. So like they're getting like $13 or $15 between the service fee and the $10 or $8 or $10 that they're going to getting from the tip. They still want more. Okay? Because they view that as the fee. They basically roll the fee and the tip, the percentage that you leave for the Instacart order as one, and they'll give you a fucking attitude. They will shade you if they don't get a fucking additional tip in cash on top of what they already got. This is, I'm telling y'all, low value critters. Like, y'all know who you are. I have guys, like I did a poll and I have so many DoorDashers, people who do DoorDash and food delivery on my channel. So many of you rats on this channel. So many of you rats on this fucking channel. And again, I'm not attacking all of you, but it's like just seeing how your behavior is, or you're gonna tamper with my fucking food because you don't get a tip. Yo, oh my gosh, you don't know the anger inside of me. You don't know the fucking anger inside of me. Oh, you work at a restaurant. You're gonna tamper with someone's food because you don't get a tip at a restaurant? Oh, angry. You know how it is, okay? Like, you know you're not supposed to be eating at a restaurant if you don't want to tip. You know you're not supposed to be ordering groceries. You go get it yourself if you don't want to tip. All right? If you don't want to tip your server, then you eat ramen noodles at home. Fuck you. Fuck you. F you. You. You know exactly who you are. Nasty motherfuckers. Evil motherfuckers. I'm telling y'all. Some of the worst human beings. I don't even know if we can call you motherfuckers human to go do some of the evil shit you motherfuckers are out here doing. And guys, I also want to remind you to check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. The Clubhouse is super lit. I'm getting to hear from you guys. You guys are sending me messages over there, asking questions. It's really awesome. You can get insights on Manosphere topics, exclusive podcasts, and strategies to thrive in today's world. Free subscribers get access to videos, podcast articles, and the community chat. Plus, just for subscribing, you'll receive the passive income blueprint to kickstart your journey. Paid subscribers unlock even more with exclusive guides, wealth building blueprints, and regular updates on crypto trends. Don't wait. Hit the link in the description and join us now. The simple truth is that as more people are beginning to wake up to the fact that college degrees are so useless, more people are just going to avoid them, and a lot of people are just going to start dropping out of the workforce. Gen Zers are not working right now. That's a big point. That's a story for another video because you guys don't really want these videos past 30 minutes anymore. So, I mean, they're the 1 hour videos, and we're gonna keep more 1 hour videos going. But a lot of you guys are not. You're like 30 minutes is enough. So, I mean, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. What do you think regarding all of this? Do you agree that ultimately, we're that this is just going to lead to more people choosing to not work because they realize that the juice is no longer worth the squeeze? College degrees don't mean nothing anymore. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.